always told this is what's going to happen. This is the weather. This is the situation. This is how many bad guys are going to be there. Blah 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 blah. And you're gonna fly in with this kind of helicopter, or you're gonna fly in with this kind of airplane, or you're going on a boat. And then about 6 hours before that, they go, nah, it's not going to be a helicopter. It's going to be a boat, or it's not going to be a boat. It's going to be an airplane. You're jumping instead of stepping out of the back of a helicopter. And then the weather changes, and then somebody gets lost. You end up on a mountaintop instead of a beach, and now you got to walk for like 16 hours with all this gear on you. And you get there, instead of two guys and a couple of pet ducks, you've got 40 guys and guard dogs. And
Wow.
so I mean, that's the reality of special operations missions. So you do all this fancy planning like in the movies, and you brief like this is how it's going to happen. Like precision. And Bob's going to go left, and Joe's going to go right, and at exactly this amount of time, a plane's going to fly over and distract him, and everything's just going to be perfect. And they give you the Omni Domini and says, "You guys are good, go." And then you show up and you do whatever you have to do to get the job done. So it's good
Yeah.
training for business.
And it kind of everything really translate. I'm curious what was your preference, water, air, or ground? What was your favorite and least favorite?
My preference was, well, air is fun for the most part. You're training to skydive. You have to skydive at night with gear on sometimes, but to get together and have to be able to fly together in a precision team in a unit in the air, it takes lots and lots of practice. 400, 500, 600 jumps. I have a little over 750 skydives. So a
Wow.
lot of that was fun. And the water stuff was always cold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you do a mission where you're diving in the Caribbean, and this is absolutely true. I've lived this a million times, and you're wearing a pair of camouflage fatigues, and you've got your diving gear, and you got all your combat gear, rig, and your body armor, and everything, and you go underwater, and 2 hours later, you pop up under a ship in Puerto Rico, you've got hypothermia. Because the whole time you were swimming, you've been expending energy and sweating.
Yeah.
And the whole time you've been in the water's been sucking energy away from your body. And so you get there and you're like this. You can't even put a bullet in a cylinder in a gun. It's debilitating. So
Wow.
most SEALs will tell you that while water is kind of what makes us special, water is also what they used to punish us when they first trained us. And it's always there waiting for us. And Mother Nature with water is a whole different story, because that's always fun. It's never the way you think it's going to be. The waves are always twice as big as they tell you they're going to be, and the current's twice as strong. Yeah.
Seems like the
And that's
15% is way more common than the 85%. It's like should be
Well,
reversed.
yeah, but you start out thinking you've got 85% wired.
Yeah.
Actually, in Be Nimble, I think I have a chapter called the 85% rule, but it's try to get to 85% of understanding and awareness